I took the entire month of February off of social media and any form of content creation, and it went completely differently than I expected. So first, a little bit of background of why I decided to do it. I have been doing content creation, making videos for 5 years. The first 2 years, I posted multiple videos every day. And then over time, as my following increased, I went down to a video per day. But even if I took days off from posting videos, I was still recording videos, editing videos. And I got to this point where I was dreading getting onto social media because the numbers attached to every single video was a way for my brain to quantify my success and my value. And I realized that whenever I was in some sort of big emotion, it could be excitement, it could be a realization, an idea, it could be depression, it could be avoidance around a creative project, I found myself compulsively grabbing my phone to film myself in it before I had even metabolized the experience myself. And holy crap, that becomes another way to dissociate myself from life, because that's something I already have struggled with. Like, being present in my meat suit and actually being here on earth is a very uncomfortable experience for me. So the fact that I was in an uncomfortable emotion, because big emotions, whether it's joy turned up to 11, excitement turned up to 11, depression turned up to 11, anger turned up to 11, like I feel everything very big. So whenever I was in some sort of big, heightened, loud emotion, rather than feeling it in my body and experiencing it fully, I grabbed the phone, I filmed myself in it in order to make value of it, in order to share with the world. But before I share with the world, I take what I've recorded and I condense it and I edit it and I switch things around in order for it to sound sexy and smooth and beautiful. It's a perfect story arc, and it needs to be under 90 seconds, and there needs to be a hook, and there needs to be yada, yada, yada. And so I'm taking the unknown of the discomfort of being in an emotion, whatever it is, and rather than letting myself complete that cycle, grabbing a phone, filming myself, editing the messiness out of it, giving myself some sort of illusion of control over the current discomfort, and then sharing it with the world, thinking that the only way that my life, my emotions, my experiences had value was if they helped others. Because it's quantifiable how many people have seen or liked or commented on a video. I was distancing myself from this experience in order to witness it through the phone, but in an edited way. And let me tell you, I have had very strict boundaries with social media, okay? I have a 45-minute per day limit set up. I never get on before 10 a.m. or after 10 p.m. I take 4 mandatory days off per month. But even with that, on the days off or the time away, I was recording videos, I was editing videos, I was thinking about videos. There was this compulsive thought of, this would make good content, this would make a video. It was always this part of me monitoring life to see what would make good content. And me living life was not meaningful enough if it was just for me. So I realized, this is no longer bringing me joy. Every time I went to film a video, I felt this draining sensation, and I love storytelling and I love sharing my experience, strength, and hope. So it was really weird for me that it didn't feel good anymore. So here we go. We go into February and we take the month away, and I'm thinking this month away from social media and making any videos whatsoever is going to be great because I'm going to get so much done. I'm going to get so much analog stuff done in this real world, allegedly. Could be a simulation, we don't know. We don't really know, you can't know. So here's how it went. The first 3 days, I found myself with like this phantom limb syndrome of reaching for my phone when I was in an emotional experience. And this was cute. It was like, oh wow, I'm currently having a realization about my month away from no social media and no videos, so I should make a video about that.
What?
And then I was like, wait, no, I could do Substack. I could type it, then that's not a video. And I'm like, no, Jen, that's still monitoring what you're doing and then sharing it with the world rather than just experiencing it. Like, just chill and just experience it. I allowed myself to laugh at myself every time I went to pick up the phone. And then whenever I was like, oh, you know what I should do? I should keep track of how many times I go to pick up my phone. No, Jen, let's just live in the moment right now. And once I metabolize this experience, if I want to share it with people, I can. And if I don't want to, it's okay to keep stuff to myself. Apparently. So first 3 days, compulsively grabbing for my phone. All right. Day 4, I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm like, yeah, I've cracked the code. But you know what I'm doing? Obsessively refreshing things like my email. I don't get good emails. I get spam emails. And the good emails I get are from my assistant. But aside from that, I was doing a little, this is me swiping down on my phone, swiping down on the Gmail app, waiting for like some sort of dopamine hit of some sort of email that's like, Jen, you are chosen and you're the best or some shit. And then doing the same thing with my messages, going into WhatsApp, going into iMessages, going into Discord, just looking for something that would give me some nom-noms of notifications. That lasted for like 4 or more days. And then the next few weeks of February, I completely shut down and just slept and watched TV the entire time. I was absolutely exhausted, absolutely drained. You know, the energy was in me, but the get up and go and the spark to actually do anything in life, gone. And it was wild for me to start realizing how much I had started to rely on that consistent connection with social media. Because even in those 45 minutes a day, not a lot of time compared to how much time a lot of people spend on the socials. But how many times did I log on to an app just to see 100 plus new followers, 100 plus new followers, 100 plus new comments? I mean, multiple times. I would log on just to see numbers. I had become so enmeshed with social media and content creation that I was not living my life for myself anymore. By the end of February, I was like, wow, I'm really enjoying being away from social media. You know what else I should do? I should cut out television. I should cut out Amazon. I should cut out anything that's a little dopamine nom-nom. And I was going to the other end of the extreme, which is something I can tend to do, where I take a behavior that's healthy or self-care, and then I turn it all the way up to 11 and make it its own obsessive compulsion. I designed this, by the way. I have the link below if you want it. I say go hug yourself instead of the alternative, because I think that if people are mean, they probably just need a hug. All right. I kind of got to a point where I'm thinking like I'm better than everyone else who's on social media right now because I've figured it out. Like I'm detached. I'm no longer enmeshed. I no longer have this really weird codependent relationship with social media where I'm so afraid of what I'm going to say. Is the video going to be too long? Should I say cuss words? Should I not say cuss words? Am I going to say something that's not politically correct by accident because something has changed in the last 13 hours based on what words you can and cannot say? Like constantly living in this fight or flight, adrenaline cortisol state that felt really good for a long time. I'm at this place in my recovery journey where I no longer want to live in this like adrenaline dump state. I want to get to a place of more peace. I don't know if you've heard of it. I think I'm saying it right. Piace? Maybe it's peak. Maybe it's like it's a hard C. Here I am, no longer feeling the pull toward social media or content creation. And then I go to the other end of the extreme where I'm like, well, I'm not going to make content ever again. I'm never getting on social media ever again. Social media is awful. It's ruining us, yada, yada. And then I found this really lovely happy medium. Well, it found me at 3 o'clock in the morning this morning. Super convenient. Thank you so much. I love it when inspiration finds you. It's like, hi. Oh, you sleepy? You sleepy weepy? Cool. Here are all the ideas. And if you fall back asleep, I'm never telling them to you again. Inspiration tells me, yes, social media can be toxic. Pretty much anything can be toxic, right? Like even water can become toxic. It's all about how we use the thing. So social media can be toxic. Social media also can be a tool to share good stuff. It's a dog hair. Not sure which dogs. Might have been one of my beard hairs. Right, so inspiration tells me, hey, social media can be good. It's all about the way that you use it. And it's all about my internal relationship with social media. I have been operating from this outside in, where I was trying so hard to figure out what people wanted and then create that, or figure out what was working for other content creators and then try to morph myself into some version to emulate that approach. And I really struggled to know, what is my focus? Like, I'm a comedian and I'm in recovery from alcoholism, addiction, suicidality, disordered eating, a weird period of time when I only wore low-rise jeans. As I've talked about my experience with healing from suicidality, those videos have gone super viral. And then I'm like, I don't want to just be the suicide girl. Like, I don't want to be just the suicide prevention girl, because that is one part of my entire experience of recovery. I am a completely different person than I was 15 years ago. I have busted my ass to completely rewrite and rewire the way that I experience life. And I want to talk about that openly in a way that helps to remove any shame that I have around these behaviors or tendencies or parts, and then also hopefully help other people have less shame too. Before taking the month off of social media, I was dealing with a lot of anxiety every day. Every time that I went onto the social media app, I felt like I was holding my breath, waiting for some sort of negative comment. Even if there are 99 positive comments, I was scanning, looking for the threat, because that's how negative comments felt in my body. It felt like my face would get hot, I would hold my breath, my chest would get tight, throat would get tight, and I would just feel like, oh my God, oh no, what if this person is right? So there was that. There was a compulsive videoing myself, and there was not knowing what my focus was, because I was trying so hard to avoid pissing off that one person who might judge me for something that I didn't even realize. Like, I was wearing a shirt once that said, my spirit animal is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And someone was like, that's cultural appropriation, unfollow. And I'm like, oh, it's a shirt about the T-Rex and it's from a small business that I'm supporting. Like, we're all doing our best here, okay? Also, I checked with my T-Rex friends and they were like, we don't mind.
I don't find it offensive at all.
Take the month off, first few days, compulsively trying to video myself, laughing at myself about that. Next 4 days, refreshing every app I can find anywhere in some hope, like even the work messaging app for my big kid job. I'm just like, refresh, someone need me, someone say something, someone tag me, someone laugh at me. And then the rest of the month, absolute exhaustion, complete detox off of, I'm guessing, the adrenalines and the cortisols and all the things, and just crash. Staying off social media even longer than the month because I am so strong and great. Now I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum. The pendulum has swung, as it tends to do for yours truly. I am better than social media. I am distanced from social media. I have won. I am above this bullshit. And then finding this little middle ground of, okay, avoidance isn't the answer, because social media can be this amazing tool, not only for me to share my experience, strength, and hope, but like the shame and stuff that we all experience. It's not person-to-person shame. It's learned shame of like, oh, we should not talk about Bruno. We should not talk about A, B, C, D. And so then we all morph ourselves in order to be like these little tiny, uncomfortable, claustrophobic versions of ourselves. And what social media allows us to do is connect on a person-to-person level using, ideally, honesty. And at least that's the way that I'm deciding to use it. And then throughout all of this, inspiration also brings me, hey, Jen, what your focus is. You're not just the suicide prevention girl. You're not only the comedian who inflates a 7-foot Christmas T-Rex in her boyfriend's car. It feels good. It feels right. You're not only the writer who is sharing the struggles with insecurity about continuing to put yourself out there as a no-name writer and just trying to make it.
One of the most challenging parts about getting a script made into a movie as a no-name writer is, well, you got to know people who has the money and the means to bring it to life. So I'm going to email 5 producers. I'm gonna reach out to them and be like, here's my ideas. Do you want to do them with me?
Like, I'm not any one of those things. I'm all of those things. And the through line is that I am sharing my messy behind the scenes in a rigorously honest way. Not morphing myself into a claustrophobic version, but instead really letting the air in, like really airing out that fart of shame and simply being myself. And that's how I'm going to use social media. One of the big things that is very me is I am verbose. I am not succinct. I spend so much time editing videos down to be under 90 seconds. I spend hours doing it. And so my darling friend, Morgan Burch, if you don't follow her yet, you ought. She teaches people how to make relationships fun again. She's an absolute delight. She has been telling me, Jen, you're a natural storyteller and you got to do long form content. Get on YouTube, get on YouTube, get on YouTube. And I've been like, no one wants to watch however many minutes, 20 minutes of me, blah, blah, blah. And here I am in my natural habitat thinking, you know what, this is a long video. Maybe I should quit. But hey, my month plus away from social media helped me realize it's not outside in, it's inside out. So it's not going from external to internal of, oh, well, that's not what the people want, as if I could ever really know what people want. People don't even know what they want. I'm a people, apparently. I don't know what I want, aside from dark chocolate, but I can only have so much because if I have too much, then I get a little froggy. I was always trying to anticipate what would be the least threatening truth that I could share. So I was trying to do 2 things at once that were very opposing. I'm like, oh, I want to share myself openly and honestly without upsetting anyone. Ooh, guess what? People are going to get pissed off no matter what. It could be a T-Rex shirt. It could be because you're using paper towels in a video and therefore you are ruining the earth. People are going to find shit that they're mad about. And it has nothing to do with us, really. But the way that I was doing social media before and approaching social media is I was defining my insides based on how people were responding to me, which I realize now is the same codependent tendency that I experienced in childhood. So I've pretty much had recreated the relationship that I had with my parents with social media. And now I'm ready to do it differently. I'm ready to go from the inside out and share myself fully. And like the people who don't like that will unfollow and go somewhere else and find someone who does tickle their pickle.
Probably shouldn't say that. That's weird.
Because the only way that I'm really going to find my people and connect with the people who will resonate with the books that I write and the content that I share is to be as myself as I possibly can, unabashedly. Because that is going to make me so much more magnetic and will help air out the shame fart in my life and hopefully help other people do the same. So maybe you should take a month off social media too. Cheers, just kidding. You do whatever you gotta do. This has been wildly exciting for me because, I mean, it was very uncomfortable. It was not exciting. It was very uncomfortable. But oh my gosh, the hallway period is done. You know, that uncomfortable in-betwixt period where like you're in between one door and the other and you're like, oh my God, nothing makes sense. I'm like a rag doll flailing through the air. Where am I gonna land? I'm never gonna have clarity. At least that's how I get. And now the clarity has arrived and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, this feels so much better. So yeah, follow me if this tickles your pickle. No. And unfollow me if it doesn't. It feels so good to not be concerned about that. Oh, something else that has felt really uncomfortable, that no longer feels uncomfortable, which is pretty cool, is sharing about the stuff that I've created. Like I wrote an entire book over the course of 6 years to help me with emotional regulation. I should probably know where my books are. Hello? All right, I'm gonna go grab one. I'll be right back. I have a microphone on, so I can just keep talking. Hopefully you can hear the clip-clops of my cowgirl boots. Come to me, little book. Hello, little baby. Sweet little babies. Are you cold out here in a garage? Because apparently if you don't share about the things that you've created, no one will know about them. This is my Barnes & Noble bestselling book, Volume Control, a guidebook for highly sensitive people in a loud and spiky world. It has doodles. And it has little lined paper so you can add your own tips and tricks for emotional regulation. So if you are a sensitive human with really big feelings and you oftentimes want to blow up your life, you should get volume control. I highly recommend you get the printed copy because this is an entire experience. These doodles are darling. I made them all. I love them. And it's way better than the Kindle version. The Kindle version, she's doing her best. All right, first YouTube video done. Yay! Morgan, are you proud?